you think about the large auditoriums, that's where people want to see the Odyssey. It's very hard to do. I mean, there's been viral social media posts that even if you want to see a 2 a.m., a 3 a.m. screening, it's sold out. You can't get in. So, I mean, is there a plan to expand this to more theaters, more auditoriums around the world?
So I've got to divide it into pieces. One is there's lots of availability in IMAX globally, and we have about 2,000 screens. A subset of that is film screens, because Chris Nolan was the first director to ever film an entire movie with IMAX cameras. So if you want to see it captured in IMAX film, projected in film, you can only do that at the film theaters. Our network overall has done very well. It was a record opening for us. We did $52 million on a like-for-like basis, the highest we've ever had. And in fact, it was almost 50% above Oppenheimer, which, you know, went on to be a huge success.
Right.
So the question is about, there are lots of IMAX digital theaters. The film ones are rare. In a way, though, those theaters are like the Rolls-Royce. And the economics around them are very high-end. You have to put them in a very big auditorium with a very big specialty-made screen. Film prints are $50,000 for one print at one theater. So you have to get tremendous amounts of capacity. So fortunately, in the places it's worked very well. So at the TCL in LA, we did $500,000 in one day in one screen, which is an incredible number. And as you said in your intro, people are flying places. So the economic model doesn't really work to put IMAX film on every corner, but fortunately there are a lot of digital theaters, so people can go to those.
Absolutely. So I hear what you're saying there, but I mean, knowing what you know now about, you know, what a hit this has turned out to be, what demand has looked like, I mean, in the run-up, would you have planned anything differently about this rollout?
Well, for Oppenheimer, we only had 30 film theaters, and we have 40% more for this one. We knew it was going to be very big, partly because it was the first film shot completely with IMAX cameras. We invented a new camera in order for Chris to make this film, partly because we know Chris, and conquering a story like the Odyssey, he thinks big, and we are big in a lot of ways. So we knew there's not really much we could have done. We kind of scoured the world to try and find film projectors, and you know, we added shows in almost every theater. So we added, in 42 theaters, we added shows between midnight and 3 a.m. I mean, the 6 a.m.s were sold out. In London at the BFI, we've already sold out a large number of shows in weeks 7 and 8. So just stop and think about that now, 2 months from now. So we were prepared, but there's not more we could have done, really.
So thinking about the bigger picture, IMAX expects that 2026 will be its best year ever at the global box office, with some 1.4 billion projected. How will you hit that number? How much do you need the sort of big Hollywood hits to carry the load compared to the local language international blockbusters?
So we're a portfolio of films. Last year we did 1.2 billion. In the first half of the year this year, we did about 600 million. And then you go fast forward to the second half, so you have Odyssey, which is going to be one of our biggest movies of all time. We've got in select locations Spider-Man. We have Dune 3, which was filmed with IMAX cameras also by Denis Villeneuve, and that's around Christmas, and tickets have already sold out for that. We have Avengers in certain territories, a new Tom Cruise movie, so we think that goal is attainable.
Another more general question. In May, there were reports that IMAX was exploring a sale and has approached entertainment companies as potential buyers. What would be the rationale for doing that, and are you able to give us any updates on such a process?
Well, we've said many times that when we sign a contract, we'll let everybody know. So it's our corporate policy not to comment on these kind of rumors. And with all the turnover in the media space and, you know, the M&A activity, it's not surprising that that rumor would be out there. but we'll let you know if it happens.
Yeah, please do. Ideally, right here on this set with this show.
Should I put you on speed dial on my cell phone?
That would be great. Just put us on speakerphone in the room where it happens. But getting back to sort of the movie theater biz, you did mention that this is the Odyssey, the first movie to be filmed entirely with IMAX cameras here. You've seen other films partly filmed with your cameras. Do you think that, and have you seen any more directors being more encouraged to shoot either primarily or entirely with IMAX cameras, given the success that we've seen with Christopher Nolan and with the Odyssey?
So this year, we released 12 films that were shot with IMAX cameras. What makes this different is it was shot with a new film camera that we invented with the Nolans specifically for this project. So that took a significant amount of resources, both capital and human capital, and we invented something called a blimp. IMAX cameras traditionally are noisy because the film spools are huge. But the blimp takes away all external noise, so it allows you to do close-ups where the actors aren't acting in front of a refrigerator. It's very quiet. So it opens up a whole new avenue for us. But digital cameras, which we've used for a long time, many pictures this year were filmed with digital cameras, including The Mandalorian used digital cameras, and Hail Mary was captured with digital cameras but released on film, and we've done that for years. But I do think this will create more demand, and as we look forward to 2027, I think there'll probably be 5 or more films released on film.